Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to one more episode of Talking Times. Today is a special day for me. We'll be talking about three things that I really enjoy: English, philosophy, learning with video games, and especially RPG. So if you're one of the fans here, bring all your questions on, prepare, fasten your seatbelt, and without further ado, roll the intro. Hello, Raphael. How are you, man?
Oh, hello, Mike. I'm really good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm great. I never know what I'm gonna say at the intro. I mean, it's like something that I'm supposed to say, but it's fun, do it like that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, before you introduce yourself, quick question related to the games, okay? Are
Sure.
you a very methodic person that I to follow everything, study everything, and try to do the quests like with as much information as possible, or
Mhm.
just go with the flow and improvise?
Oh, I do go with the flow. I like the surprise and the thrill, the thrill of the ride.
Yeah, as long as you have a save, in the game, is fine.
Yeah.
Back in the day when we used to have Mega Drive, Nintendo, Master System, you need to take note of passwords, man. If you tell this to the kids today, it makes no sense. I
Oh my
remember
God.
this plane crash. I lost the save. I was playing the emulator, and
Yeah.
the emulator is like this. You press select, and it's like a PS1 or 2 controllers. So you select R1, you save. All right. Oh,
Mhm.
you see, that's the problem. Select and L1, you go back. So
Yeah.
I got confused and I accidentally erased the save. I was like in the opening scene, and then okay, me and the student, that
Mm,
we are playing like in a class.
I
And oh,
see.
let's go back there, clever. And then and then oh fuck. When I tried to go like intro, crash.
Oh,
But
that's a
but the internet was there to save my ass. So I crash Bandicoot passwords, and then I found the password for the stage that we were, and that was it. And then I thought I will never complain about this anymore, because
yes.
it's like that. So
Oh,
depending on the game, is fine. But okay, please introduce yourself, man.
oh, perfect. Yes. Before I let me introduce myself, and then I will talk about the save states because this is
Okay.
a good story. Um, okay, so nice to meet you guys. My name is Raphael Gois. Yes, I'm a English teacher here at Times Goiânia. I'm also the coordinator, one of the coordinators, and honestly, I'm new to the profession. I recently started teaching like 2 years and a half ago. So it's been a complete joy to be here at times and experience this immense transformation that is this profession. Um, I have also studied letters at UFG, our federal university here in Goiás. Also a very good experience, and I have previously, from letters, I have studied philosophy as well for 2.5 years, and it is one of my passions to this day, but not a professional
Really?
passion.
Philosophy is so boring, man. Damn.
Oh, it's super boring. But
I'm being a sarcastic, man. I love this. I have to control myself every time somebody mentions this because uh, we can easily get sidetracked.
oh,
But I'll do
definitely.
my best today. I'll do my best today.
Uh, nice. No, but yeah, philosophy, it is a passion of mine. It is a little boring sometimes, but I love this aspect of philosophy. I like the boring stuff.
Yeah, the first thing that comes to my mind: Critique to Pure Reason by
Um,
Immanuel Kant.
yes.
If you survive that, you are good to go.
Yeah,
Some
that
Thomas
was
Aquinas
a
too,
moment.
Some
Thomas
Thomas
Aquinas.
Aquinas.
Oh, he
Yeah.
he was a rock star, I guess, in
Yeah.
his own terms.
Uh-huh. Sorry,
Oh,
man.
so
Go on, go on.
no, no,
I'll
it's all
hold my
right.
horses.
No, that's fine. Oh, okay. So I believe I introduced myself properly. Is there
Yes, you
something
did.
else? Yeah.
Beautifully so. Okay. Uh, let's go back to the beginning.
No, no problem.
First, being a teacher here at times, okay.
Mhm.
What are your favorite classes? You know, right off the bat, like, oh, I love doing this. I love teaching this because of blah blah blah.
Oh, that's a great question. I do think that the lessons are
Mm.
one of my favorites because I do like to study language. So this structural aspect of language, like to understand how do you create a sentence, what is the word order, what do you mean with this specific verb tense? Yeah, so the
Mm.
implications of that. I do like the lessons, but I do also like the special classes. I think they have a special place in my heart, unironically.
Pun
Uh,
intended or not?
pun
Okay.
intended, yeah. It was very tended. I I think the diversity and the multiple possibilities that we can explore in this moment, I think that's an amazing possibility. And because we can do that every week in a different topic, I think it's superb. It's one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah, mine too, man. Have you ever used one of your favorite games as a topic for a special class, or like mention, oh, there is this video from this game, you know, something like that?
Oh yeah, I did. I think I did one this year. We talked about horror games because I love
Nice.
horror, the horror genre. So I got to talk about Resident Evil, a little bit about Silent Hill, games I absolutely adore, love so much. And I played them growing up, which helped me also with English. We're going to talk about that later, right?
Yeah, and the nostalgic aspect is so interesting. Something that was interesting for me when I started playing these retro games again. You know, I feel so old when I say that because, you know, for me, you know, retro, I imagine, I don't know, my father is Atari stuff. You know, actually, my father is previous that, but okay. Anyways, let's skip this.
Yeah,
Um, I used to have the impression that those games were very long, you know, because for example, I would
true.
play for like 1 hour, sometimes more. And back in the day, we used to have a small device that you plugged in the game called memory card. You had 15 slots, I guess. And
15. Yeah.
depending on the game, you need to use 2 slots to save the game.
Mhm.
So, by the way, you had a limitation of how many games you could play at once. So, you guys from Gen Z that has a plethora of options at the same time, a lot of stimulus, and you don't know which thing to choose. Not a thing in our time, you know. I'm sorry, Raphael, but how old are you, man?
Well, I'm 32.
Okay, so yeah, you lived through this as well. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So then we used to play like 4 hours and then save, you know, and this will last, I don't know, for weeks or even months. And now you can go on YouTube and you look like a guy finished Resident Evil in 30 minutes. I say, how, you know, like the speed run, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess this is a theory. Maybe I'm wrong, but what the impression is, we were walking circles so much because we didn't have like a walkthrough at the time. Sometimes you have to buy a magazine, but
Yeah.
today you get stuck in a part of the game. You open YouTube on your phone, you see how you do it, and then you do it. You know,
It's like
unless you are like a masochist and like, no, it's a matter of pride. And are you one of those men when you get stuck in the game?
uh to a certain level, yes. Until my patience is depleted, I keep going. But so sometimes I just say, oh no, I have to look it up. It's not there's no way. But
Even with
nice
bosses,
one.
it happened to me. It happened
Bosses.
to
Hard
me
one.
playing. Darksiders. It's like a dragon
Darksiders.
bat
Oh yeah,
boss that
I
is
know that
really
one.
annoying. About the apocalypse,
Yeah,
nights.
I know that one.
And I didn't know how to kill the fucker. It turns out you have to grab at something that is on the stage, throw, and then use one of the. You have a
Mhm,
specific way to kill this
mhm.
boss.
There's a
Yeah,
specific gimmick you have to work with. So
yeah, and
those are annoying.
yeah.
Definitely. Oh, the memory cards are a memory. I think I still have some. I have
Pun
some of
intended again.
yeah, they are a good memory. Is I think I have some. I have a Castlevania save
Nice.
on Symphony of the Night. I used to
The
play
best one.
that so much. Yes, I think that one that one took me months to to play, but people do speed run that like hours, and I'm surprised all the time. 'Cause that
And
is a
there are a
long
lot of
game.
secret paths that you can go as well. If you do this, you will find this item. And there is a way that you can, it's like a shortcut. One of my nerd friends was telling me that, by the way.
Yeah. Yes, and there are so many hidden things in the game, and people want to be the completionists. You want to get
Mm-hmm.
the complete percentage of exploration, the meter exploration.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I cannot be that person. I'm gonna be honest.
All right. I'll share something about that. I don't mind about the game trophies, like I'm gonna have the platinum one, blah 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 blah. But if the game has collectibles, like for example,
Mm,
mentioning Skyrim that we were chatting before, Skyrim has this thing that you have the dragon masks, and each mask you have to go to a specific point in the game. You kill this undead sorcerer that's they're called dragon priests. After you kill them, you
mhm,
get their masks, and for example, one makes you invisible, the other you can breathe underwater, and then they have certain percentages that are bonus. For example, charisma, so 10% of the prices are lower. um, Immunity to ice or fire. It's really cool. There are 9, so
mm.
gonna grab them all. The Pokemon hunter kicks in.
Oh, good one,
That's
good one.
one example. The other in Skyrim is a pantheon of gods. Imagine like the Greek pantheon, but not equivalent gods. All the gods are really crazy in Skyrim, and each one of those gods, they will give you an item or a piece of armor or a weapon.
Mhm,
And it's fascinating because you depending, for example, there's a god that he asks you to lure a guy to a certain temple
uh-huh.
and murder this guy that is innocent, is I guess a priest of another god,
Yeah.
as a ritual, and
Mhm,
it gives you a very nice weapon that it absorbs the souls of your enemies, but you have to do something
mhm.
unethical or evil, going back to philosophy.
Yeah. Is it
And
worth
then again,
it?
it is in the game. If you want to collect all the items, yes, you have to
Yeah.
get your hands dirty, bloody, and
Oh,
filthy.
definitely.
Actually, depending on the. But in this aspect, I am like that, man. Completionist, something like this.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a good point. You mentioned Pokemon. I
Hmm.
am a big fan of Pokemon too. I gotta catch them all, it's like the song says. Yeah. So I have a completionist for collectibles. Yes, I like that. Sometimes I like to explore, but not that obsessive way. It's just in a fun way, you know?
Hmm.
I like that
Like you
part.
enter in a room, for example, Resident Evil. You enter in
Mhm.
the room, it's like a clack, 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 clack,
Yeah,
pressing X everywhere. Yeah,
exactly. I gotta
yeah,
find the secrets here.
yeah.
That is
Yeah.
something I like to do.
And when you were learning how to speak English, by the way, you learned alongside your experience playing these games, or for example, in my case, I was studying in a school, but it
Mhm.
was very traditional, so no conversation classes on all of this. The games were like a plus. In your case, you started playing, and your teacher was basically yourself with the games, or I don't know. How did it work for you, Rafa?
Oh, okay. Good questions. Well, I think, well, I never had a proper English school that I went to until I
Mm-hmm.
went to college. So all the bases I had of English was in regular school. So I studied with my teachers. At that age, wasn't a very good English class. It was more
Mhm.
grammar, verb to be, the basics that everyone gets in touch with. And then eventually I started playing these games. I think the first time I think consciously played a video game, I said, "Oh, this is English." I was about 10 years old, and I started playing Final Fantasy IX, and I went through that gigantic story without understanding a single word. But
Oh man.
yeah, but I had something to help me. I had a magazine, which was very
Super
helpful.
game power.
Super Game Power, yes. I still have the magazine, by the way. It's like a
Was this one? Really?
no, it was another one, but it
Ah,
was a
okay, that
game.
one.
I don't remember the name now, but I have one. It's in my room.
Huh.
It's specifically for Final Fantasy IX and Tomb Raider Chronicles. It was the two
Okay.
walkthroughs in the same magazine. And coincidentally, were two games that I had at the time. And I didn't understand the story, but I used to play with my friend, my neighbor, and we kind of played with the nonsensical aspect of English at the time. So we just, oh, okay, sorry, what the hell is sorry? I don't know. So we're trying to imitate and give sense to that story and the emotions because they're very expressive, the animations.
Mhm.
So it was about that. And with time, we were researching dictionaries and looking at the magazine and then making these associations, sometimes a little misguided because we're kind of, yeah, floundering a fish out of water, basically.
Mhm.
But that was the process for a long time. But English was, I think that was the first contact and a moment where I kind of developed this attraction to languages in general. And
It's
then,
interesting that
yeah,
you have become a teacher after that because this is a conversation that we had with me and other teachers. Like very important aspect of a teacher is empathy. Like so, it's very easy for us. It's tricky actually. You start teaching, you start using the language every day, and eventually you forget how it is not to understand English. When you have this anchor, like I used to play the games, watch a complete scene that would lead to a decision, and when that moment arrived, that moment had come, I was like this: what do I do? What do I choose? Like, would you like to kill the entire, the
yeah,
entire population of this city, or save everyone? And then yes, like you make a
exactly.
decision like that, and they're like, what happens that everybody hates me in the game, so but my point is, it's very nice to remember how it is not to understand, because then this helps connecting with the student, it's cool.
Definitely. That is a very good thing. I've never thought about it like that, in this perspective. So it's very
Mm.
nice to understand this. I think it's the empathy is when we have this memory, this base memory that we understand the other side. So that
Mm.
makes a lot of sense. I do
Yeah,
love that
because for
comparison.
example, I try to watch stuff in other languages like Japanese, some Indian movies sometimes, or Chinese, and so sometimes I try to only watch the scene, and
Yeah,
then I have to rewatch because I don't understand a lot, but just get the context, and then I think, oh, this is how a student feels in a conversation sometimes. No,
yeah.
like blah 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 blah. Okay, he's angry. He's angry about something. Okay, he's angry about something. I guess. Oh, I guess this person is trying to scam him. And then when it's nothing like that. But okay, he was angry because of other stuff. It's what happens to some students in conversations sometimes. So uh,
Definitely.
going back to the question about the classes, and the games, Rafael.
Mhm.
this is another thing that is, I don't know if you felt that, having studying letters and, the acquisition of language and all of that, when we have a class that is fun, you remove all that pressure and the expectation, these classes that I do with the retro games, man, is very simple. And when I look, the students are 100%. Oh my God, go here, go up, go down. No, no, go back, go back. No, no, no. They're 100% in English, even in 𝗲𝗏 mode sometimes, if I have a very basic student,
Mhm.
but it's like what would happen if they were in another country having fun and playing, without
Well,
trying to translate or with like, oh my God, what if I commit a mistake? They just don't want to die in the game, It's
yeah,
like that.
it's a basic instinct. Yeah, I think that, and it's simpler. You don't have that tension of a conversation. You have to speak like this. It's a good one. Now I want to copy you. I want. I'm gonna. No, I'm inspired by you. I think that's
Oh my God.
yeah.
I was almost embarrassed now. No. You mentioned that you used to play
Yeah,
with a friend, and you guys were trying to pick up some words and meaning there.
yeah,
Um, were you like chatting during the thing, during the playing,
yeah.
or you are that type of player that you isolate everything, and just
Mhm.
100% focus there in the thing, or like, man, what do you think is that? What is it? Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, you
What is
were
your profile
chatting.
as a gamer?
Yeah, at the moment we were chatting, we were having discussions, full-on discussions. We're like, what is this? What is happening? It sounds like they're trying to say something here. I'm not sure what, but they look angry, or it's yeah. So we started to create on top of that as well. So and at the end, when I played it a second time, years later, I found out everything we created was wrong, but it was but it was a great experience nonetheless.
Yeah, but another thing here, we were talking before about graphics in the games, and for
Oh
example,
yeah.
if the game this generation puts a lot of value in the graphic quality of the game. And when I say graphic, not about violence, I mean the quality, the visuals, the
Mhm.
aesthetics aspect.
Yeah.
So, but when the game is actually good, everything else is good. You see, you had fun even not understanding the story, and it was fun to
Exactly.
play. And I imagine maybe some of these went to like your top, on the
Oh
top of
yeah,
your list of favorite games ever.
definitely.
And so when you play a second time and you understand the lore and you say, "Oh my God, it's about that," you start liking even more.
Yes, yes. So the emotional connection was there already because it was a tool of connection. I think that
Hmm.
was one thing about video games when I started playing was a tool of connection because I played with my brother, I played with my neighbors, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I learned how to play Resident Evil with my older brother. I shouldn't have at the time, but I did because I was too young. 10
Ah,
years
okay.
more or less, yeah.
You were 10
But
years. Okay. Oh my
yeah,
God, it was scary as fuck, probably for you.
it was a little, yeah. The first one was very scary. I
Hmm.
have memories of specific moments where the jump scares happened.
Oh yeah,
I
the
I
the
s- I don't know how I survived, but it was
man.
awesome, like some things older brothers do to you, and you kind of feel good about it.
Go
Like,
go there. It's nice. And
yeah,
it's that part in the police station in the Resident Evil 2 when the dogs
yes,
break the window.
exactly
Ah,
that one.
yeah, that's a
Oh, that was
clever, it's a
scary.
canon event for every gamer that likes that. Man, I
Perfect.
have
Yeah.
a story about that. I have two. It was so silly. I was 14 years old. Me and my friend Ricardo, we
Mhm.
ended up having a band together a year
Oh,
after that.
nice.
We had a PlayStation 1. I had, and he also had, so we used to exchange games. And then, okay, let's finish this one together. Yes. And it was the first time that we played Silent Hill.
Oh, Okay.
Before that, we have played Resident Evil, and I remember the first one, right at the beginning, you go to that part where you see the first zombies, like a cutscene. If we're playing with Chris, you have to, give it away to
Yeah.
kill with the knife. For playing with Jill, you spend a lot of bullets there, and you kill the zombie. All right,
Yeah.
good. Then when you go up the stairs for the first time, there will be one specific hallway there
Yeah.
that the lights are very red. And when you enter, the
Yes.
cameras, they are really fucked up in the game. You don't have like the complete vision. So you enter in a very bad angle and you will hear like a and I said, fuck, I'm not playing that. You go now, man. And then, no, I'm fine, man. Now you go. No, we didn't want to play because we were scared of, when you see again, it's really polygonal. The graphics are, it's old, but we were so immersed in the bloody game that it was amazing at the time,
Exactly.
And with Silent Hill, it happened something similar when we entered the school, that there is this little doll, that was like, and it starts to appear and it's all dark. I said, oh man, it's your turn to play. No, play more, man. No, now you go. You were afraid to play the game.
Out.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I'm joking because Silent Hill is one of the games that I'm still scared to play, even with the polygonal, old, ugly graphics of the time. That is a scary game, but I really like it. One of my favorite
Have
games.
you played? There is this one. I guess was the scariest that I have seen. I was with that friend that we played that he played The Witcher, and I was like watching a movie and drinking beer and eating pizza. But he got this Japanese game, and in Japanese they are very good with terror,
Fatal Frame?
No, it was Siren Blood Curse.
Oh.
If you are watching, you take a look, guys. Siren Blood Curse. Yeah, no, Siren Blood Curse, actually. I don't know if it's only this or Siren Blood Curse 3, but the game is like this. It happens in an island. People do this ritual, and everybody there gets possessed by demons. And you play with like a filming crew that was in a place. So sometimes you play with a guy, sometimes you play with like a little girl. And if you play with the little girl, it's 100% survival mode. Like you have to hide under a table. But the demons, man, they're really scary because they are possessed with this like it's really creepy, man. It really creeps you out. It's a very dark game in some moments, and you have like it's an island, so you have like this tropical jungle around places. Some parts looks like Silent Hill. If you are a fan of horror and you like to feel scared, I recommend this one. Highly Siren Blood Curse. I guess I'm gonna Google it later.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to take a look because
PS3. Okay,
PS3.
PS3.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't think I have played this one, but that sounds interesting. But horror games are one of my passions along with RPG games.
One question here, Rafa. Which video game, this is from Claudio. Oh, hello, Claudio. Hello, Simone. Which video game would you recommend to someone who is starting to learn English? Siren Blood. No, I'm joking. This game is in Japanese. But which one would you recommend? Somebody that is starting to learn English and would like to practice.
Well, there are some interesting games. I'm thinking because RPGs, I don't think I started there, but I don't think it's the best one to start because of it's very dense and there's a lot of story and you're gonna feel a little bit lost. And if you want to understand, I don't think that's a good one. But I thought about one. I think it's silly, but there is one game. I forgot the name, but it's you have to merge fruits. So you start with a little grape, and then you merge two grapes, and you have an orange. And you have to merge two oranges.
Do you know the name?
Like a.
If we get the name, we're gonna recommend. So this would be amazing for the person to get the vocab.
The vocab, yes. I was thinking about vocab and Fruit. I think these are not like directly related to language, but I think there's another game that I really like. You have to cook with your friends. Maybe you know it. Um, I always forget the name. Overcooked. Overcooked.
Overcooked. Okay.
Yeah,
So it's like
because you have
what it's an online game, so you play with a friend and
you
you
can play
mix the
online
ingredients
or
together and then something happens.
exactly. You have to play. You can play locally with your friends
Mm.
or online. So you have a restaurant and you have directions. You have to chop the cabbage, you have to chop the onions, you have to mince the meat, and then you have
Ah,
to
mint,
fry.
chop is all the
Yeah,
vocabs that you have on lesson 19, by the way.
yeah, good one.
There's another one too that I forgot. Nice. It's fruit merge. You mentioned it. Fruit merge.
Yeah, a fruit merge. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Nice.
And overcooked is very good as well because you have a dish you have to prepare and deliver. And I think I like it as well because it was some types of games I used to play when I was a kid. You know, those online
Ah.
games you have to prepare a meal and you have to deliver it. And
Uh,
it was cute, cute and
what
cool.
I did in a few classes, I felt that was very cool. I adapted the game to the student's interest. For example, I have this
Mhm.
friend that I mean, it's a student now, is a friend, and it's both,
Yeah.
But he is crazy. Is one of those guys that plays FIFA since FIFA whatever into FIFA 1 billion.
Hey.
And I said, "Well, man, it's pretty much the same." No, no, no. Like because the mechanics, look, the dribble here, you do this and that, and now Neymar has a scar. I said, okay, he really likes FIFA. Then
Hmm.
we went to the vocab of football, and I recommended him. Now you're gonna watch, the Premier League, the football leagues that you like. You watch it with an English narrator, or the English league, of course. And you're gonna get a list of the vocab of the moves. For example, how do you say when I don't know, uh,
Hmm.
the player, uh, you know, puts the head over the ball, puts the ball over the head of the player. Do I say hat in English like we say in Portuguese? Turns out in English they say sombrero. Oh,
Oh.
nice sombrero there. Oh, how do I say the bicycle dribble? Then step over. So
Mhm.
he got really into playing FIFA in English because you have like the vocab and all the plays. Oh, nice control, good pass, good touch, free kick. He got the vocabulary of something that he was interested, and then he extended to something else that he likes to do, that is watching games. So, for example, you are a fan of horror movies, so
Yeah.
maybe for this specific type of student, he will enjoy maybe a slight horror game. Maybe something simple, for example, that you
Mhm.
don't have a lot of dialogues, or maybe not. Maybe if you give like The Witcher or a
Yeah.
dance game like this, that they would enjoy as well. I don't know. But I guess the secret is you link the game to something that the student already loves. It's just an excuse to have fun and practice English.
That's a great suggestion. Now that you mention it, I remembered some games that they have a kind of a escape room aspect
Mm,
to it. So you
nice.
have to find the clues, and you kind of have you can work with that as well. I think there's a Samsara box. I think that's one of the games I was thinking about. It's it's a a horror game
Hmm.
because you have this tension of escaping. But
Oh, it's really nice.
it's cool.
Okay, have you ever dropped a game that you were playing and in the middle, like something really annoys you, or say, no, I don't want to do this anymore? Slash, canon event in everyone that is playing Souls-like games for the first time.
Oh
You
yeah.
die so many times that eventually, I know, I'm doing something wrong, and then no, it's actually a dying game. This is a dying game. You die, 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 die. Eventually, it's over. You know. But have you ever dropped a game, man?
Oh yeah. Funny thing you mentioned Dark Souls because that's one. No, I tried to play the first one. it was difficult, very difficult to get over the dying aspect of the game.
The first
So
skeletons
hard.
on a bridge, man. I got stuck there already. It's like 10 minutes in the game.
Yeah, this one I stopped, but I have played other Souls-like games. Easier, I think. I like Neo with the samurais. I like that. But this one, it got under my skin and I dropped it. But I don't think I dropped many games, honestly. Not voluntarily. Like maybe sometimes I start one game and then I stop for some time, then I go back eventually. The hard part is going back because I don't remember a thing about it, and then I have to remember where did I stop, what do I have to do. But I think that's part of the fun as well.
One that me and the student 𝗬𝗫𝗀 we almost dropped because we were getting annoyed. It was Crash. Man, what a difficult game for PlayStation 1. You guys complain. If I'm almost getting angry now, man, because of the trauma. It's like the mechanics of the game it's made in a way to frustrate you. Like you need
Yes.
to jump to a specific platform, but the angle is all messed up, so you don't have a notion of depth. If I jump here or here, that part with the bridge, for example, you know what I'm talking about if you have played
Yeah.
the game. It's a bridge with some wooden planks that when you go there, they fall over. And then it turns out you can actually go on the ropes on the sides. There is a way that but
That's a trick.
it's really annoying. It's really annoying. And then I got it why everybody likes the Crash Team Racing, the one with the car, because you don't have to do all the jumping and running and dodging and all of that.
The card game is
Yeah,
awesome. I do love it.
yeah,
But
it's fun.
I think all platformers for the older generation, I think they're all very frustrating because of this
Yes, yes, yes.
specific pixel you have to land on.
There is something that I do before I quit a game.
Hmm.
You guys can call me Nutella if you want, but I'm gonna share this. I use cheats, immortal, infinity lives, or some. For example, these ones we didn't, quit because you can select and or one, I guess, you immediately save. So I passed
Yes.
some difficult part of the stage, poof, save there. I don't need to go to a checkpoint. It's fine. Back in the day, impossible. Or, for example, they give me this impossible boss to kill. I'm gonna
Yes.
get overpower weapon, or I'm gonna get immortal, something like this.
Yes.
Because
Do
the
you
aim is
remember?
to have fun.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Do you remember Game Shark?
Yes, with the
Yes.
cheats, right?
The cheats, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Were you a user? Did you
Were
use them
you
a
a
lot?
user? We are talking about like cocaine.
Yeah.
Well, I was.
Have
I
you
was the
cheated?
anonymous Game Shark user that we
Oh, nice.
call 𝗬𝗀𝗋𝗄.
Yeah, that is a nice one.
That was
But
hard to spell, actually, my friend. No, but
but
honestly, yes. I used, I didn't have one, but my friend had the device.
mhm.
And it was so fun, man, because it was like
Yes.
unlimited power. For example, Resident Evil Infinity
Infinite
Ammo.
bullets. Yeah.
Man, was amazing. You could go there like, come to Papa's.
Oh,
You
the
know,
bosses were suddenly very easy. The game was
yeah,
not very
yeah.
scary. No,
You
but
get
yes,
that bazooka with the fire rounds and everything. It was really cool.
really cool. Yes.
But it was like a last time resort, something like
Yeah.
this. You would do in less case scenario.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree. I agree. Because
so
at just to some point it kills the fun if you
yeah,
just use it directly
we
all the
need to
time.
have some level of challenge. Or, for example, we would say,
Yeah.
we would use one cheat. If we use, for example, infinite ammo, we will not get like immortality or something like this. So there is still a risk there. Or only this weapon we can use like infinite, like a pistol or So you can try to kill a boss, a big boss with a pistol, for example, depending on the game. Resident Evil is challenging. So stuff like that we would do, you know.
I
Well,
see.
you mentioned before letters and philosophy. Let's talk a little bit about that before I forget.
No, no problem.
Let's link the two things, man. Was there any game that you played
Hmm.
that the lore of the game, the dilemmas or the choices that you have to make? Because Final Fantasy, I know that they like to develop some philosophical aspects sometimes. I know that the games from Kojima, it also likes to do this, you know, and The Witcher 2, Skyrim 2, and many others. So was there a game that, you know, poked the philosopher aspect in you, like, oh my god, this is happening, oh, this decision, you know, something like
Oh,
this?
oh, that is nice. Yes. There are some games that when you have to make decisions like Mass Effect, Dragon
Mm,
Age, and you can decide the path you're going to follow. So there's always this ethical dilemma on what do I want to represent in this fantasy world I'm in.
yeah.
And so you can definitely choose to be the hero or the villain or the anti-hero. So I think it is very interesting to explore these decisions and also connects a little to philosophy, like what makes it a bad decision? Is it justified? How can you see the morals and the ethics of the
Talking
games,
about
I
the
think.
trolley, you know, the trolley
The trolley
dilemma.
dilemma.
I'll
Yeah,
give it. It's like it's not a
well, that's
spoiler
a classic.
because it's, you know, it's like a fork in the game. But in The Witcher, there will be a moment that you will find a village that is devastated because of the war. You know, there is during the Wild Hunt, there is this war happening there. Geralt is known by being like a neutral, like if fuck you guys, I'm not gonna choose sides here, blah blah blah, and depending on the quest, you end up choosing one or the other, blah blah blah. Anyways, long story short, you go to this village and you discover that the villagers there, they say, well, the gods have abandoned us, the authorities, the kings, the nobles, everyone has abandoned us, so we were left alone here. So we had to find something or someone to protect us. Turns out, you discover that they sacrifice sometimes part of themselves, like the guy just cuts his own ear and gives as a sacrifice to the norms that are like three witches, you know, that take care of
Mm-hmm.
this forest and this village. It's like some swamps. It's a very ugly place and devastated. And then
Yes.
you discover something there, like, okay, the norms that these witches, I'm gonna call witches because it's easier. These three witches, are they good or evil or not exactly in this spectrum? Because they protect and they honor their world. But then you discover that they eat children, like the
Mm-hmm.
villagers. They're very poor, you know, suffering famine and all of that. They give their kids to these witches, thinking that the children will be protected, but they are actually food. And then you imagine, oh, fuck them, I'm gonna murder them. And you are looking for 𝗬𝗎. Then eventually you can talk to them and they ask you, there is this spirit in the forest that is giving a lot of nightmares to, and then you say, oh, nightmares, so maybe it's an evil thing too.
Mm-hmm.
And The Witcher is interesting because if you don't look for the things, the story will just go, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a book that is left in one abandoned house in one of these houses in this village. When you get the book, it actually tells the story, and you discover that this spirit of the forest is actually the mother of the three witches that had been betrayed by them before and imprisoned in a tree. So it's the spirits that created these three evil witches. Eventually, you will go there and you have the quest. You save this spirit, and then the spirit said, I will save these 12 children that are there, you know, that you know will become food. And then you say, well, this sounds good, right? You will save the kids. If you just go with that and you release the spirit,
Mm-hmm.
the witches are going to be angry the children are saved. At first, you imagine, okay, no problem, but they end up dying because of another consequence. And when you go back to the place, everything is devastated. People are dead because this spirit passed there. And then everybody died, started to get
Oh,
crazy and commit suicide. A lot of people die, you know. So initially you save the kids, but other kids and other innocent people die. Then you
I
imagine,
see.
all right, so I'm gonna fulfill the promise to the witches. You go there, you kill the spirit, you see, and the children become food, and some people survive, and then you get this dilemma. Depending
Mm.
on you do what depending on what you do, there are consequences. In any possible way, the consequences are tragic, you know.
Oh,
So you have to
yeah.
balance. And the worst thing, depends on the choice you make in that specific part of the game, the whole thing that you are trying to do in the game, goes to the drain because the Ciri dies after that. So it's not a spoiler, but careful with your decisions in The Witcher 3, you know? So
Oh,
imagine you play for like 30 hours and then you end up with a shitty end. Geralt is sad, Ciri is dead, and they're like,
oh God. Oh, that. Thank you for for the spoiler. I'm gonna try to do the good ending
yeah, yeah.
to get the good
Uh,
ending. But
I'll give you a hint. When you
yeah,
can play snowball with her.
Snowball. Oh, cute. I love this side quest, the extra activities you can do in the games. No, you with your example, I remembered one thing about Dragon Age, because
Hmm.
Dragon Age is a medieval world similar to um, The Witcher. And then you have mages, is magic, but magic is not like this positive thing. So mages are looked down upon. They are
Mm.
dangerous and they are vigilant with mages. So they have a specific tower. There's a complete regiment they have to follow to be good mages, let's say. It's because they to create magic they have to contact spirits from another dimension, and there is a danger because the spirits can invade and they are not very friendly.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's also, if you choose to be a mage in this game, you always have this dilemma. Are you going to defend the free aspect of magic, doing magic at all costs, or are you going to follow the strict rules of the circle? The circle is the institution. So you have to balance. What am I going to follow this institution, or I'm going to be an advocate for
It
freedom?
reminds me of
But
Captain America and Tony Stark dilemma, you know?
yeah, that was a good reference because there is a big conflict about depending on the choices you make. You can cause a civil war basically over the
Ah,
yeah.
okay. Okay, good.
There was a
Oh, there is one more question here. What do you think is the biggest challenge Brazilian students face when learning English? Okay, and how do you usually help them to overcome it? Okay, biggest challenge Brazilian students face when learning English.
excellent question. I think it's there are so many elements, but
Yeah.
um, I believe students sometimes they are too eager to understand everything at once. I think sometimes I don't think it's particular to Brazilians, but they want to get on it and fully understand 100%. And I think sometimes we have to manage these expectations. We always have to manage these expectations and understand that it is a process, a slow process. But I don't think it's the one of the most the biggest challenge, but sometimes pronunciation and listening, because when we get in touch with the spoken language, everything's so connected. The words feel like a blur. You're
Mm.
just going through a person rambling over and over, and you cannot pick up the words. So I think one thing we could train students to do is understand that sometimes we're going to connect sounds. So I think that's something we do a lot. Is like to teach them how this is pronounced, how do we connect these words, and also when they are producing it to look more naturally what they should present as an English speaker if they want to talk to native people. But honestly, I'm not saying that they should abolish their accents. Of course not. We are always going to have an accent, but there are some things that we can adjust always, because there are some words that we can mix up, or misunderstandings that can occur because of mispronunciation. So I think these two aspects are some things that at least my students have complained or showed some difficulties over the time.
It's very common, and sometimes when you get, oh, this word, it's not that they are speaking fast, it's because this consonant is linking to this vowel. So you have three words that are sounding like one. For example, what are you gonna do over there? What are you gonna do over there? And you have
Mhm.
what? When they understand this, I don't know if you have this feeling too, Rafael, but it's
Mhm.
like this: they couldn't understand, so hence the listening difficulty, because they were trying to get all the words separately there. And when
Yes,
they understand, so now this is connecting with that, now it makes sense, so they start to understand more and feel more confident to express themselves too.
exactly. Yes. So I think that's something I've tried to show them, because it's something we do in Portuguese as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's natural. And sometimes it's a little bit, let's say, intimidating when for them to look at this gigantic phrase that sounds like a word. Are they speaking
Yeah.
Welsh? What is this long word?
Yeah.
There's yeah, but I think it makes it easier, and then they feel a little bit more at ease when you explain, and everything flows better after some time. So it is an interesting process to look at. Definitely.
It's nice. It's nice to do with the song classes too. You know, you
Yeah,
get a song, and then you get the specific thing, like, oh, you see, it ain't like that. Oh, he's actually saying all of that. Yeah, so listen, and then it
yeah.
flips the coin.
Oh,
Uh,
for rap songs
linking
especially,
to
that's awesome.
linking to what you said, man, about their expectations. I guess one thing that still haunts a lot of Brazilian students is that they bring to the classes this baggage from high school and sometimes university. That is like, I can't commit mistakes, or sometimes they are so, like you said, they want to understand everything. So instead of focusing in using the Tarzan mode and trying to communicate effectively using
Mhm.
facial expression, their vocal tonality, or teacher, I video games very good. They start to they try to form a phrase, a sentence in their heads in Portuguese, and then translate every single word. Like they're doing these two things instead of just you know be
Mhm.
immersed 100%, like it happens when they were learning how to speak Portuguese. So
Exactly.
the answering Simone here, I guess, try to learn the second language the same way you learn the first is, at least the impression that I had, is one of the biggest challenges for them.
Yes, yes. I'm going to connect a little bit with my story and what you said. Uh, when I talked about my experience with video games, we are building a puzzle. Yeah, we're getting some words, and we're gonna do that slowly, and we need patience. So sometimes we're gonna use nouns basically at the beginning, adjectives, and you're going to say, "Oh, movie, very nice, I like."
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that's perfect. That's perfectly fine. You're communicating. As I love when students try to do that, because I can see the gears turning in their head, and
Uh-huh.
I can understand. We are having a conversation. Sometimes they want to be very eloquent as they are in Portuguese in the first class, but that's not going to happen. Yeah,
Takes time, yeah.
it takes time. It takes a long time.
If if the monster from Frankenstein can communicate so much saying, Victor, you can do that in your classes too, okay?
Exactly.
Focus in communication. Ah, man, what can I tell you? We are running out of time already.
I know.
Yeah, I told you time flies.
It
One from
does.
Marcella here. Music's a great way to learn, especially for younger kids. Great advice. Yeah, yeah. Music's amazing too. So, final thoughts here, Rafael.
Yes.
What would you say, based on your experience studying, formally how to learn a language and learning informally that you have learned a lot with games? What
Mhm.
advice could you give to students that are a bit insecure and or they think learning is boring or they are a bit lost where to go to, find something interesting? What can you tell them to help them in this learning process?
Excellent question. Well, I think that it's in the name. It is a process. So we have to have patience and we have to put effort into it. Um, Sometimes it can come naturally. You can do that over time, but if you want to do it fast, you have to work for it. So get in touch with the language. It's important to always not necessarily understand, but be in touch, be it in movies, songs, podcasts. I think that's a good way
Yeah.
as well. The classes we have in English that is supposed to help with the exposition time they have in English as well. So all that is going to contribute to their acquisition because over time, the more we listen to, the more we are exposed to it, the more we absorb a kind of subconscious level, we understand how the language functions. And it's funny because I don't know exactly when did I say, "Oh, I understand. I know what they're saying." I don't know when that happened, but it's a process. Yeah. And in a moment, you're going to turn that key and you're going to understand and you're going to start expressing yourself better over time. I think it's effort. It's like Einstein said, 99%
Mm.
transpiration. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I have to recommend.
Respect your time and respect the process. This is very interesting. Yeah.
Mhm.
Eventually, it will make sense, and you will not remember exactly when it started. True, it's exactly like that, man.
Yeah,
All right, man. Thank you so much for being here. Now I feel like playing something. I actually wanna play the Witcher 2 because this I can play in the Xbox, but that's a
nice.
conversation for another episode. All right,
Perfect.
thank you so much, Rafael. And final message to everyone. Watch not final like final, but the last one here. I always
Yes.
tell this joke. They always laugh. It's nice.
I love it. Oh, thank you so much, Mike, for having me. It was a pleasure. I love talking about games, so this was an excellent experience. And also, I do feel like playing as well. I think when I get home, the first thing I'm going to do, turn on my
Nice.
video game.
Don't forget
Yeah.
Siren Blood Curse, PlayStation 3, and Skyrim, and then say bye to your social life, basically. But okay.
Oh, that's gonna be my pastime activity for the next month.
Okay, month. All right, I will put years there. Thank you so
Nice.
much, Rafael. And guys, thanks for being here with us. Don't forget subscribe. Send this to somebody that likes games and wanna practice their English. This episode is going to be on Spotify tomorrow. And see you next week on our next episodes of Talking Times.